different.
I am the world changer, coded by the blue storm. My number is 19, the power of all number. I am the master alchemist, the force behind the philosopher's stone. Skilled at the art of transmutation. I am the catalytic transformer of world consciousness and planetary living. I oversee the changes of the weather. I am the thunder that shatters your world systems. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies. It was I who caused the triple Aztec monuments of the Avatar archetype to appear in the ancient temple grounds. I oversee the morning and the evening stars. I behold the creator of the fifth sun, the present world. Sent forth am I to dwell among you, calling forth the sixth sun. For the great regeneration of the world's soul, to know me is to know your own power of self-generation. To know me is to know your own power of self-generation. Self-generation is power. I am the transport of clouds filled with lightning to illuminate the truth behind your illusions. I am the bringer of the drenching rains that purifies.
All right. In Lakesh Alakin, we are live on Clubhouse. We are live on IG Live. We are live on Facebook Live and YouTube with a very powerful message so that we are able to access our memory in a ways that gives us the passageways to access consciousness levels that allows us to overcome certain circumstances that we've created in our life. So with that being said, my name is Neb Taharka Kanishkawak, and I'm in an esteemed position to share with you some evolutionary knowledge in this moment. And what we are doing, this is 21, it's been 20, it will be 21 consecutive days of us talking about what we call the journey of the archetypes. And so this is from Mayan cosmology. We talk about the galactic Maya. We're talking about individuals that were able to use calendrical systems to help them access different dimensions of their mind. Now, for what purpose? Well, how about to just first of all start with higher mind control? Secondly, let's talk about how to be able to access untapped psychic energy. Let's talk about this, how to be telepathic. If you're in sales, let's just say that you telepathically are able to discern or telepathically able to know, hey, what someone's needs are and what their problems that they need fixed. And that's why they're kind of searching for certain products and services to do that. And by you being a consultant, by you being an educator of sales, it's called educational sales or consultative sales, you're able to help people to figure out a solution to their problem. And then as a result of that, they're able to buy your service. You see how that works? So there's no real convincing or anything that takes place that disables you from going ahead and pursuing that process. Okay, so what else? What about being able to be a vision caster? That means you got to be able to see in the future. We call that precognition. And so you're able to not just have a vision of your imagination, but then when you have that vision and detailed plans come down, people, places, and things, technology, systems, processes, protocols come into place. Through your mind, you have the gift of precognition, and now you can cast that vision and that plan to other people. And if they feel you, they can and they will follow you. So what is it that we're doing here when we're talking about this? Well, this cosmology allows you through each archetype, which is actually a dynamic frequency of light. It enables you to access a portion of your mind that gets processed by your brain. And now you're able to focus on that process or that unfolding, and that can become the reality in your life. All right, I want to start with the prayer of the 7 galactic directions to kind of bring things into vibrational alignment. And this prayer is really powerful because it's giving you the tools and it's giving you the equipping that you need to do whatever it is you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off from the east, house of light. May wisdom dawn in us so we may see all things in clarity. That's important, to see everything in clarity, right? From the north, house of night. May wisdom ripen in us so we may know all, that's everything, from where? Within. From the west, house of transformation. Now that we know everything, we got to change our behavior. We may have to change our disposition. May wisdom be transformed into right action so we may do what must be done. All right. From the south, house of the eternal sun. May right action reap the harvest so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. So now we reaping the harvest. Now we prospering because we made the necessary changes. We transformed and who we need to become, and we made the necessary changes. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with the harmonies to end all war. And from the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. Ayum Onaku Eva Maya E Maho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, now we're in the galactic hawk moon, and the indigenous used animal totems because they saw how they responded to the different seasons and through the different cosmic cycles. And so while watching and observing them, the hawk and the ability to focus, the question for this moon asks, do I live what I believe? I want you to ask yourself that question right now. I've asked it 25 times so far because each moon is 28 days, or we call them plasmas. Now, one of the things about it that we got to stop doing is beating ourselves up because that creates procrastination, that creates a low self-image, right? So let's just say I'm not living what I believe. Now, it's okay because what if you're somebody that's constantly getting new knowledge? What if you're somebody that's constantly trying new things? When was the last time that you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? What does that mean? That's a sign of growth. And many of us, it's been a long time that we did something new. So we can't answer that question. So if you ain't never did nothing new and you say, yeah, oh yeah, I live what I believe. Yeah, because you're not doing nothing new. You're not taking on new challenges, and that's okay. And that's where you are. But for those of you that take on new challenges, you're looking for new horizons. You're looking for ways to be able to build your character different ways. You want to learn new technologies. You want to be able to get into new circles of people and spheres of influence. Well, your belief system is going to change. Your knowledge system is going to change. And once you find out what that knowledge system is, let me tell you something. You're going to have to change your behavior. You're going to have to go to the West, house of transformation. May wisdom be transformed into right action, right? So we can do what we believe, right? So we can do what must be done. right? From below, house of earth. Now, this is how you get the power of the planet, the power of nature, and the power of synchronicity to work on your behold and not your behalf. May the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. And the war is from within, it's between the heart and the mind. From the center of the galactic source, which is everywhere at once. That means our consciousness can go everywhere and retrieve knowledge and retrieve information that can help us in this present situation. Galactic source, which is everywhere at once. May everything be known as the light of mutual love, right? That part of it. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the light, right? So I am the way means you're going to receive instructions on which way to go from the infinite source of knowledge, right? I am the truth, right? That means I'm going to create integrity. Integrity is what holds everything together. And I am the light, right? That means that you are going to access the consciousness into infinitum that's going to allow you to be, know, do, and have anything that it is that you want. But you have to see it within yourself that it's not just for the teachings of Jesus, that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. And when you see yourself in that image, there is nothing that you cannot do. Everything that you think you can't do is an illusion because you can do it. It's just a willingness to focus. There's no such thing as can't. I want you to put that into your mind. There's no such thing as can't. It's an unwillingness to focus, right? So the affirmation for today's kin, this is kin 134 out of 260. Now these kin numbers are vital because it's ushering you into what we call galactic consciousness. And when you have a galactic purpose, and you do, once you become aware of it, your earthly destiny is easy. It's easier to navigate on the planet when you know what your galactic purpose is and what your assignment is in this physical body. And it goes beyond the planet, right? You were sent here, you know what I'm saying? Because of the different karmas that was handed down from the different planets. Do we even think about what happened on the other planets? A lot of times we're so limited to just what's happened on this planet. What about the planet that exploded? There's an asteroid field right now. What about the planet that was engulfed in flames, Mars? Now they're trying to go ahead and move back on Mars. And how did those cataclysmic events affect what's happening on Earth right now? And so for those of us that are able to think into that paradigm, then we're able to unveil it through remembrance what your role in it was in previous lifetimes. So this is why this knowledge is so important, because the more we have a holistic view on what's going on, the more we can do things with complete certainty and understanding in this lifetime and in this experience. All right. So the affirmation for today's kin is kin number 134, the white self-existing wizard that states, I define in order to enchant. Enchant being to take great delight into. Measuring receptivity. Receptivity that I have to ideals and things. Receptivity that other people have towards me. Right? It doesn't say measuring lack of receptivity, measuring receptivity, right? I seal the output and the expression of timelessness. That means never-ending growth, never-ending evolution of consciousness with the self-existing tone of form. We're going to take consciousness and put it into a physical form. But we got to define it first. I am guided by the power of heart, right? I define in order to enchant, measuring receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with The self-existing tone of form, I am guided by the power of heart. One more time to lock it in. I define in order to enchant, measuring receptivity, right? I seal the output of timelessness with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of heart. Now, today in our Amplify Your Purpose session, we were talking about how intelligence defines what the heart already knows. I'm gonna repeat that. That's something that'll really get your wheels turning. Intelligence defines what the heart already knows. So if the heart already knows, right, then it's easier to connect the relationship between your mind and your heart. And when they are on one accord, then it's very easy to advance yourself into figuring out anything, right? Because we already have access to the consciousness, right? We're sitting here learning on a linear trajectory, trying to learn things we already know, right? Instead of focusing on, well, how do I remember? And once you figure out how to remember, put yourself back together, right? You dismembered yourself from the intelligence of the heart. The heart already knows, and you moved into an experimentation through your free will. You know, and then when you come into remembrance, you're going to be like, whoo, it's like deja vu. I already know all of this. Why am I not being more assertive with my art and my creativity? Why am I not stepping up as a leader when I know I can lead better than the people ahead of me? Why am I not being a better parent? Why am I not being a better spouse? Why am I not praying for my husband? Why am I not taking time to nurture my husband? Or why am I not taking time to listen to my wife? Why am I not taking time to make sure she's freed up to restore her energy so that she can become more creative? Why? And I'll tell you why. It's a low self-image that we have, and we don't think we have enough time because of our concept of time. You know, intimidation comes in times and dates. And so when you don't think you have enough time to do something, then you're going to start neglecting your children. You're going to neglect yourself. You're going to neglect yourself at the expense of doing everything for someone else. I've been there, but we got to fix that. And that's what the power of the heart shows us, so that we have the power, the strength, and the wherewithal to take on, right, to take and carry the load versus becoming the load, right? So in the Mayan oracle, I'm going to bring the Mayan oracle to the forefront, and I'm going to, here we go, the Mayan oracle. So we're going through each of the archetypes on the Mayan oracle. And let me tell you, the Galactic Maya and the Olmec and the Dogon, and there's so many indigenous that were so powerful. They were able to see stars without telescopes. But it was a lot of how they followed certain cycles to unlock these areas in their brain. Okay, very powerful. They were able to see, the Dogon were able to see stars Sirius, and long before the telescope was even invented. And they drew everything on the wall so that there was no question. They knew something, right? Long before the technology of the telescope was even. They were able to tap into the human technology, and this is being resurrected in us, because this is why you hear me talking about we are moving out of the information age into the telepathic age of our experience. And we're in a very powerful position. And I started out talking out that what we lack is the access to inside information. And evolution is an inside job. And when we look at having in our cerebellum over 100 plus million years of memory, I guarantee you we're not using 100 of those years. What can't you do with an extra 100 or 200 or 300 years? Or what about an extra 100 or 200 or 2,000 years? What about 1,000,000 years? That's 1% of 100 million. What could you do in this avatar is the question. Would your circumstances still be ruling you, still stressing you out? Would your circumstances have you with anxiety? Would it have you in a position where you got different physical ailments in your body? No. It wouldn't. Because once you figure out a thing, it no longer has power over you. And that's why evolution is so important. So let's look at here with the wizard. I like the wizard. We know wizards are smart, right? We don't have to, look at it. When I think of wizard, I think of Doctor Strange, opening up portals, key codes and stuff like that. That's what I think about. And so you want to see yourself like a Doctor Strange. Don't look at the name. Look at what he can do. Move into the multiverse and move the multiverse with his mind. What are they showing you here? Somewhere in that memory, you can do that. Right? Well, how do I know that, Nev Talker? It's only one way to find out. I say. So with that, we're going to look at the wizard, right? And the spiritual name for the wizard is Ish, I-X, but it's spelled Ish like E-E-S-H, Ish, but it's spelled I-X, all right? Qualities: integrity, heart knowing, alignment with divine will, magician, shaman, jaguar, night seer. I like night seers because let me tell you something. When I was in the military, we did something called night land navigation. It was fire, man. It was people falling in the hole. It was hard for some people, but there's a technique that you're able to use in order to see things at night. And we put on the night vision goggles, and each one of them cost like $1 million. Did somebody lose those a pair? Oh, I remember, this is funny, I'm digressing for a second, but we were in the desert and somebody lost one of those night vision goggles. We were walking around for almost 2 days looking for those night vision goggles, and we found them. Somebody dropped them somewhere in the desert. So we spread out and was walking, and it's rattlesnakes out there and everything. They did not care. Those are $1 million. Let me tell you something. Your night vision goggles that you have in your all-seeing eye is worth more than $1 million. It's priceless because we got night vision goggles that can let you see the terrain and the people and the infrared at night. And then you got the all-seeing eye night vision goggles that can see in all dimensions, that can see into 100+ million years of memory. Right. And so what I didn't know back then, and thought we started this telepathic group, that back then I could have sat down and remote viewed and found out where they were, so we didn't have to be there for 2 days looking for it. Right. If we were sophisticated back then, I would have set my squad. I was a squad leader back then. Right. In 1990. 1992, 1993, and I said, hey, let's sit down. We're going to sit down, and everybody going to meditate, and we're going to go into a remote viewing session, and we're going to see the coordinates where the vision goggles are. Ain't nobody going to come jack you and steal them from you in the desert on a night mission. What, they going to go pawn it? No, somebody dropped it. They didn't secure it. So instead of 2 days, we could have took 2 hours and found them between remote viewing. So that's the value of being into your wizardry, right? Night vision goggles, right? Night seer, priest and priestess, torch bearer, magic initiation, all right? The number is 14 because it's the 14th archetype, and the element is air, and the direction is north. It refines from the north. Right? The shadow wisdom states issues of integrity. Now let's talk about this integrity, because there's a part of this that that people need approval and recognition. So this is what we're going to be talking about on Instagram tonight. We've been talking about the shadow wisdom and the people who need to what? They need approval. And so the name of the session that we're on over in IG is very powerful because when we see what the real issue, what the real issue is, this is the issue. The rescuer being able to say no. How about if we could teach you how to say no, that people that guilt trip you into making you think you got to do something, they should be doing for themselves. I like to talk about the shadow wisdom because a lot of the times we get so focused on I'll gain by doing this. I'll pray. I'll meditate. I'll do this. I'll do that. But then when we get a blockage, we don't know what to do. When we have a trauma, we don't know what to do to delineate and dissolve and eliminate the trauma so that we can evolve from it. We don't know what to do. So we got to talk about the shadow wisdom because the shadows is where all the blockages are. It's keeping you from your extrasensory self and being. It's keeping you from going to the lengths that you could go to be able to be an example, a model for someone who can evolve, like for your children, for your spouse, for your parents, or what have you. Okay? So we're looking at this issues of integrity, personal power, control, right? You got to feel like you're in control all the time. Will out of alignment with divine will. We got a lot of that going on because it's not a matter of can or can't. It's a matter of willingness. Need for approval and recognition. You know, I talk about recognition, and let me tell you something. Kids will cry for it, and adults will die for it. It's called recognition. People leave relationships, they leave churches, they leave jobs because they don't feel like they were appreciated. You didn't acknowledge me for the hard work that I did. You didn't recognize me. And as soon as you say, I'm leaving this job, I'm leaving this relationship, I'm leaving this, I'm leaving that, then you know what happens? Oh, wait, I was just about to give you a raise. Oh, wait, I was just about to buy you, that vacation package that you wanted. Oh, wait, I was just about to spend some time with you. Oh, I know, I ain't been getting my hair done and I ain't been looking right, but I just it's funny that you should say you want to leave me today because I just bought a new dress. I just bought a new suit. I just got a new car. You won't believe it. I know it's timely. Isn't it interesting how right when you're ready to leave, and let me tell you something about psychology, fear of loss will make you move when you don't want to move. You see, we'll promise to gain you to death. Hey, you gonna get this. You gonna get your full brain if you focus on sacred geometry. You gonna be able to teleport yourself out of a bad situation. Yeah, but how do you pay that damn cell phone bill that's due right now? How do you go get them groceries? You ain't got no more money. How you gonna get them? Right? How you gonna be able to work on your interpersonal skills when you become a recluse? How are you going to be able to do it? Let me tell you, you're not going to be able to do it, and you're going to withdraw some more. And so therefore, if you don't know how to alleviate the issue and eliminate it, then that's going to hold you hostage, and you're going to have all this knowledge about everything. Right? You're going to know everything about everything and not going to be able to execute on nothing. And I'm going to tell you, that is a psychological brain, what they call quagmire. Because you know what to do, but you can't do what you know. Why can't you do what you know? Because something is blocking you. And so I always say over these past 4 years, I've done over 875 coaching sessions now, one-on-one. And what I learned was this: half the people didn't need coaching, they need therapy. And that's not a bad thing because mental illness is real. This is a mental illness environment. And so what does that mean? That means that you have a blockage that you can't get past. People who need coaching, they already know how to do it. They just want to speed up time. They will show me how to do what I already know how to do better, coach. So if you wanted to make $100,000, right, in a year for example, because you just made 50 and you knew it was going to take you a whole year to do it. And you said, nah, I really need it in 6 months because I want to get my house in 6 months. I want to do this. I want to do it. I need that $100,000 on the books before that. And so you get you a coach and you say, all right, instead of in 6 months, instead of a year, I'm going to help you make the 100,000 in 6 months. Right? Now, guess what? The power in that is that by a year, you're going to make double. You're going to make 200,000. Was the coaching worth it? Right? Depends on how much the coaching costs. So the coaching cost a few $1,000s, but you made an extra $100,000 that year. Would it be worth it? You see? So that's the coaching aspect. The therapy aspect is you can't even get into your flow because you keep getting derailed because why? There's a blockage or a misalignment. And so it takes psychology to build strength in the mind to remove the blockage and to align the misalignment so the energy will flow, right? And you will magnetize the experience versus having to work so hard for it. That's the whole kit and caboodle of how it works. Is this making sense to y'all? Because I'm on so many platforms. I don't even know, if anybody's responding. I don't know if this is making sense. I don't know if it's helping you. But my aim is to help you, right, improve your position so you can be more, do more, know more, and have more. Why not? If it's available, why not? Right? All right. So that was the shadow wisdom. And get into these shadows, y'all, because that's how you really work on yourself. And then when you get under pressure, when you get under pressure, it's not, it's not how good you think you are under no pressure. Somebody could parachute me into nowhere, Idaho, and I'm going to build something. I'm going to attract people. I'm going to empower a snake. I'm going to empower a scorpion. I'm going to empower a Wolverine. I'm going to do something. You see what I'm saying? So you got to already know that that this is what you're here for and take me anywhere and I'm going to do it. That's when you have so much confidence that you know that it don't matter who you're around. You're a woman around a bunch of men. You're going to rise to the top, right? You'll rise to the top. You're a black person, a black man around a bunch of a white Caucasian or all these other people, but they ain't came across one like you yet. And they gonna all have to eat out the palm of your hand because you've advanced yourself intellectually. You've evolved yourself, and the stuff that you thinking about, right? And the stuff that you are focusing your mind in and on is incorruptible. So they can't take you off track no more. Let's talk about the shadow transformation. So now that we know the shadows, right, and we might find, how many of you, by the way, have dealt with issues of integrity, personal power? That means that you don't know how to have the ability to take action. That's your personal power. All right, I need to go ahead and start an LLC. Why is it taking you 3 months to start an LLC? And all you got to do is go online and go to the Secretary of the State, click on LLC and put your EIN number in there. And 5 to 10 minutes later, it's over. What is it taking you 2 and 3 months to do that for? Is it so hard? No, you're not able to exert your personal power. Right? Control. You got control issues. You know the thing about control issues? The problem with control issues is that it's a fear. Like you fear that somebody is going to take control of you. Now, here's what I know. First of all, you can't control me if you can't control yourself. And then if you can control yourself, you ain't going to want to control me. And so if you think I'm worried about it, if I think somebody has the power to control me, then I'm out of my mind. I ain't really serious about this 100+ million years of memory I'm talking about. Right? Because whoever tries to control someone else is disempowering themselves. right? All right. The need for approval and recognition. How many of you need it? They didn't tell me I was good enough. They didn't tell me I did a good job. They didn't tell me I worked hard. So what? Tell yourself, I know I'm doing a good job, and it's just a matter of time before people they'll see that what you're doing is so great. They can't even hear the words coming out your mouth. You'll be like, I like to apply for a position here. You're hired. But I didn't fill out my application. You're hired. We've seen your work. We've seen what you can do. We've seen how you advance and put yourself in a position to move this forward and that forward. We've already seen your track record. We already got your algorithm. We already did this. We already, you're hired, and we're going to pay you up front. And you don't have to say nothing because you already was operating with a level of excellence that they didn't need to question your integrity. Your integrity speaks for itself. I don't know if they're trying to take advantage of it. Well, it's real simple. Let's look at your track record. Let's look at what you've done, and you'll find out real quick, no, this ain't one of them. We need to hurry up and grab her. We need to hurry up and grab him before somebody else does because they can actually do it. That's because you have a commitment to excellence. And when you're committed to excellence, it ain't even about who you work for, whether you're working for customers or you're working for a corporation or you're working for your family or all three. Excellence is a byproduct of your degree to focus, and it's going to reward you in many ways that you can't reward yourself. The need for approval and recognition, that's okay if you need that. But guess what? If you need it, give it to yourself. Reward yourself. Who says you can't? The power is within. Remember, we lack inside information. Mind out of alignment with heart knowing. Look what it says. It don't say that the heart is out of alignment with mind knowing. It says the heart is out of alignment. The mind is out of alignment with heart knowing. That means the heart knows something that the mind don't. So it's all this talk about work on your mind, work on this. And yet the subconscious creates so many blockages from the things you repress and suppress in your life that you forget about that. It's out of sight, it's out of mind. But right when you're about to achieve success, it snuffs you and you start to self-sabotage and it unravels. So the shadow transformation, let's go through it. Develop a clear connection with divine will and your essence self. That means you got to listen to the intuition in your heart, from your heart. That's your spirit speaking to you, right? Through intuition, it's giving you instructions. It say, don't go left, go right, right? Don't go down, go up. It's telling you, you said, no, let me just make sure I ain't supposed to go down. And let me just make sure, let me see. Yep, they were right. I was supposed to go down, and now you're caught in the situation, right? It's too late. They told you not to go, and you went there to check and make sure they were right. You don't need to do that to divine will, right? Be transparent. You feel that? You feel that when I said that? Be transparent. You see, there's a difference between being honest and transparent. You see, because do you really want people to know who you are, or do you just want them to know the version that they need to know? It's the version you want them to know. But let me tell you, it's so limited in power that way for you. Right? Because of what? We're scared of death of me of character. Right? So be transparent, innocently allowing magic to come through you rather than needing to create it. So we think we need to create some magic. We need to create something outside of ourselves. And guess what? You are the magic. You are the miracle. You are the miracle in your own mind, and there's a miracle in your mouth to speak your truth. And the wizard is showing us this, and the wizard understands the power of alchemy. Right? Trust. 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 So most people don't have primal trust. They don't. What's primal trust? You don't trust the power of God in you. Now, let me ask you something. For everybody's having relationship problems. Did anybody have those? I know everybody's relationships has always went great, right? You never had a relationship problem in your life, right? But how are you going to trust a person when you don't trust the 100% pure consciousness of spirit in your own existence? Why are you worried about what somebody else going to do, right? You got the power to choose them. And here's the kicker. You attracted them. So what did they come into your life to teach you? You attracted a spouse, or you attracted somebody who's a certain kind of way to you. What is that saying about how you see yourself to attract something like that into your experience? Right? And I'm going to tell you, you attract in your experience based on your lack of trust or trust for thyself, the power of God in you. You don't trust yourself, you're going to attract the abuser. You don't trust yourself, you're going to attract a cheater. You don't trust yourself, you're going to attract a liar and a cheat. You don't trust yourself, then you're going to attract somebody that's going to abandon you because you abandon yourself, the whole power of God in you. You abandon it to go impress somebody else instead of improving yourself. And people align with you how they align with themselves. This wizard energy is powerful. So when we learn about the archetype, we say, what quality? You know who we're using that for right now? Celebrities. We're trying to hold celebrities on this pedestal that they're going to teach us how to evolve. And it's not going to happen. You're not with them every day, and you don't know what they're going through. But you know what they show you is funny. You know what they show you feels good. You know what they show you sounds good. But is that going to be your methodology for evolving into this memory? No, it's not. All right. Open to heart knowing. And here's the one. Here's the kicker. Limitless possibilities. So anytime you put a limit on something, you've just created some lack in your life. Oh, I can only do this much. Really? How do you know that you can only do that much? Is it an absolute truth? How do you know? You don't know. What you know is that based on your gauge and judgment from your past experiences, this is probably what you can do. And if that's probably what you can do and you settle for that, then you have settled for less. That's not what intelligence does. That's not what the wizard energy does. The wizard's energy says, hey, I'm an alchemist. I'm a shaman. I'm magical. I'm a torchbearer. I am the jaguar. I can shapeshift. I got the night seer. I'm the priest and I'm the priestess. I'm aligned with divine will. And now look around you. Look at your entourage of experiences and people, places, and things. It's going to look different than if you say, I ain't none of that. I ain't none of it. All right. So limitless possibilities. That's why the memory that we have is 100 plus million years. Plus has, it don't say plus one, right? It say plus. You got to put after plus after that. But you got to get to 100 million first. Wouldn't it be beautiful in them 100 million years? Let's say you operated at 100 and you get you 100 more years of memory. And then now you're prospering versus being in some financial disposition that you're ashamed of, right? What if you have unlimited, countless companions of destinies to help you while you carry out your purpose? Now, extra 100 or 200 years of memory might show you how to do that. Might show you how you've done that in another lifetime. What about 1,000 extra years? And you figured out how to create 7 generations of wealth. And you figured out how to be the curse breaker, right? How can somebody say it's a curse on me and I incarnated to be the curse breaker? Who told me I have to be a cursed? And the only thing I can do is agree with it because I ain't got no memory, but I already know who I am. This is going to happen in your bloodline. Really? Let me show you something. My memory has taught me that I'm not cursed. And neither are you. It's an illusion. And you bought into an illusion that you wouldn't have all this memory in your mind and the body being aligned with the divine will and be able to heal yourself when the body is functioning properly. The body can do what it's designed to do, and that's heal itself. So where's the curse? The curse is something that you've accepted out of guilt, out of karma, and things of those natures that you have seen and been handed down from person to person, generation to generation. And then you have to just make a decision. Am I going to be the cursee or the cursor? Am I going to be the curse breaker or am I going to be the curse receiver? The choice is yours. So now ain't the time to get into spiritual warfare. When you get to a certain level of consciousness, there ain't no spiritual warfare. It's a distraction. How do you know it is? How do you know? We talked about in church, we talked about it all the time. And then that's what the experience that we putting a curse on ourselves. What if it ain't no spiritual warfare? So I'm telling you, get some of this consciousness so you can understand that you're here for something far greater. You're not here for race wars. You're not here for all these different things. It's far greater. And when you go into your memory, you see that you're here to support all the species on the planet. Not just the humans, because everything is dependent on everything else. If you let all the plants go, you cut down all the trees, you ain't gonna be able to breathe. You're just gonna collapse. The breath in the body is the spirit of the human. Once you take the spirit out, you've just expired in this life. The breath comes into your body. Now you're inspired, you're in spirit, and now you can flow again. So I want you to think about these shadow aspects, right? Take one of these. Are you the person that needs approval? Well, write down a little bit why and what would change that if you were to focus on excellence, for example. And if you want to, message me and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, and I think if I do this, it'll be better. And I'll give you some feedback. What if you got an issue with personal power? You just can't take action. You ain't got no confidence. And what I decided to do is just have confidence in the source of my creativity, the source of power, unlimited power in me. And I put my faith in that. So now I confide with that and I have confidence to do anything. Issues of integrity. You know you got issues of integrity if things are falling apart in your life. But I told the truth, but you wasn't transparent with it. You didn't tell the whole truth. The whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so therefore, you got whatever you hid now comes back to snuff you another way. Okay? So I want you to think about control. I want you to think about these things, and I want you to see if these things are slowing you up. And if they are, just be transparent and honest about it so you can fix it, so you can be able to express your gift to this world. Because what's blocking your gift is these shadow things that I'm talking about. It ain't that you ain't intelligent. You're intelligent. You gifted. But how do you work around your blockages in the systems that's been put in place to program you so that you will be less than you could be? How are you going to be able to be more? You might need some help with that. You might need some encouragement. All right. So that's all I have for tonight. Get this book and read these archetypes. It's very powerful. It gets you into galactic consciousness and out of this linear brain, this materialism, right? And your intelligence is going to create by default material things that you'll use and just give away. You'll give it away because what's more valuable to you is your intelligence, not what you can materially hoard in your life. All right. So I will end with the affirmation. I define in order to enchant, measuring receptivity. I seal the output of timelessness with the self-existing tone of form. You know that self-existing? What is that? The self is existing in the form. What's the form? Us, you. Self-existing tone of form, and the output in the expression of timelessness, time being the evolution of consciousness, is the unlimited evolution of consciousness. That's where we are, and that's how we do this. All right. And I'm guided by the power of heart, compassion. Right. So with that being said, I trust that all of you have gotten something out of this. Take this information. We got 6 more days left on this journey. Get all you can get, because then we're going to go through the future portals. You don't know what that is, you need to find out. The portals are taking us into our memory. You need to message me so that you can get on board and get this teaching every night, right? And then get ready for the future portals. We're doing a fast. We're starting a fast on Thursday. So this is part 2. We already did a 28-day fast, and a lot of people couldn't do it. So now you got an opportunity, not an obligation, to do it again on this Thursday. Make it your best effort and best business to be whole and to give your best effort that you can give and be the person you can be. With that being said, in Lakesh, I am another you. Allah King, you are another me. Hotep, Hetepu, and Namaste. And remember, evolution is a solution, is the solution. Peace.